Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly review of my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. Balance on the account is $96,424.34. Let's go ahead and look at the performance for the past week. Overall, it was a green week, but barely. We see here the portfolio went up 0.38% or $363.52. Let's look at the portfolio investment. SCHD was up 0.53% or $329.71. VU was up 0.45% or $91.85. And then not shocking, realty income was down 0.70% or $85.70. Realty income continues to be the worst investment I've made ever for my portfolio. I hesitated there a bit because VGT was also a horrible investment, but realty income beat VGT by a mile, but I've gotten rid of VGT. But you will notice here that VTI is no longer part of my portfolio. Thank goodness. It was such a horrible investment. And I know there's a lot of overlap between VTI and VU, but I strongly believe in VU and VTI. I'm just going to stick to the S&P 500 with VU. VTI incorporating all of the traded companies it was a horrible investment for me. Not as horrible as realty income. Nothing beats realty income, but it was bad. But let's go ahead and look at the activity for the past week and you'll see more about what I'm talking about. So on December 15th, I got paid out my monthly dividend from realty income in the amount of $54.85. Then on December 18th, I deposited $100. And on the 18th, I had a trade of $154.85. Of course, that's the 100 I deposited plus the monthly dividend payout from realty income. So that all went into VU, and I got 0.35 shares. Reason for that is because the share price of VU is very high. It's $434.89. So it's all fractional shares I'm getting here with VU, which is fine. Then on December 19th, I deposited $70 and it traded that day. It all went to VU and I got 0.16 shares. Then on December 20th, there was a half a second of a moment where my investment in VTI went green. And when I say it went green, it was like maybe $1, $2 above the cost basis, cost basis is the money that I actually put in. So I've held VTI for, I guess, like over 2 years at this point and literally have made no money, zero money. It's been a horrible investment. So it finally went green for like $1 or $2 over what I put in to the account, and I just sold it immediately. Just wanted to get rid of it. So I sold it. So let's look at the sales. On December 20th, I sold VTI. See, the total balance that I sold was $2,715.56. You see here, there's approximately 11 shares that I sold. There's a share price that I sold it at. And then I went ahead and I put all of that money and I bought VOO. VOO, not VU. It's pronounced VU, but VOO. And all of that money went into VU and I got 6.23 shares of VU. And I was just so happy to get rid of VTI. Now, there was still some residual leftover balance on VTI. So there was like $1.29 left over. So it traded on December 21st. You see here barely a fraction of a share, got sold. And because it sold $1.29, that balance is sitting in my deposits. And I'll show you that just because I need a minimum of $25 to trade on M1 Finance. So the next time I get money to deposit, then this little remaining balance plus whatever I put in will go ahead and trade. But for this week, in terms of money that I put in, it would be $170. But again, highlight of the week is finally getting rid of VTI, and I'm slowly but surely getting my portfolio to where I want it to be. So if we go back to the main page and just look at the performance for the past week, the balance started at $95,837 and $37.36. Net cash flow of $223. That's the $170 I put in plus the monthly dividend from realty income, and there's the 363 gains that I highlighted before, which is what brings the balance up to $96,424. If we go ahead and look at the holdings, you can see here technically I'm in the green, quote unquote, but as you see here, realty income just continues to drag down my portfolio, down over $2,000 with realty income. I literally cannot wait to get rid of this stock. The second it goes green, I am selling. I might not even wait until it goes green. I just don't want to lose $2,000 on this silly investment. So I don't know, if it gets like $100 in loss, I might just like go ahead and sell it at that point and just take the $100 in loss. It's just right now, I just want to wait it out a little bit to see if, I don't lose this much money on this bad investment. But just lesson learned for me to never, ever again invest in single stocks, and I never will. Dave Ramsey talks so much about, again, investing in single stocks. And of course, we all like to think we're the exception to the rule, but he's right. And I know that's probably a curse word for a lot of people, Dave Ramsey, but I do believe in his teachings, and he was right in this situation. So I guess, technically I'm up $148.57 or 0.15%. But again, if it wasn't for realty income, my balance would be like $98,500 or 600 and something dollars. So it's definitely a sore eye seeing that major loss on my portfolio with realty income. And that is it for this week. So the major change is I sold VTI, thank goodness, put all of that money in VU, and we will continue to monitor realty income and sell it the second it goes green or it gets to $100 or less in loss. And here is the $1.30 I mentioned before, the residual left over from the selling of VTI. So you need $25 to trade in M1. So I have to wait until I get money to deposit. So you all, this is a great example of, my access to funds varies every single week, right? Last week I was able to make a big deposit. This week, honestly, I don't have any money, right? Because you would kind of think like, oh, all it takes is $25. Why don't you just put in $25? At the moment, I don't have an extra $25 to put into the portfolio. So I have to wait and see in terms of like bills that need to get paid this upcoming week, and just to see if there's any kind of like leftover cash or anything maybe I over budgeted for, where I can pull at least $25 and put into the fire account. But it's not every week that I just have endless amount of cash to deposit into my M1 portfolio, but I try my best to at least find $25 to put in. So we shall see. I'll keep you posted, with the good and the bad. I'm very transparent with this account and never want anyone to feel like every single week that I invest, it's super easy and I just have this endless flow of money. I wish I'd be a multimillionaire if I had endless flow of money right now. But it's all sacrifice and me saying, okay, for next week, I had X, Y, and Z budgeted for this item, but I'm going to spend $25 less so I can put $25 into my M1 finance account. These are the sort of mental exercises that I go through to find funding for my account. And of course, if I can find more, if I can sacrifice more, then I will and deposit higher amounts. So that's just a little insight into what happens on a weekly basis. All right, that's the update for this week, and I will catch you next week. Bye.